Dima, we can't hear you.
One, two, three, one. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh yeah, awesome. All right, so that happened, so this USB decided to run away. we catch it early. It happened to me a couple times before. Then was already like 10 minutes on a live, and my video is not operating. So guys, welcome on a live. Like maybe some of you was confused by me talking but not hearing me. So yeah, now mic is on. You probably see my video is awesome. So great, guys. Every Thursday we have this webinar. So if from YouTube or Facebook or any other platform we stream on right now, please ask us because we can see all your comments and we will be try to answer all the live if you post them right away. But if there will be too many questions, don't worry. We're gonna after. And I know a lot of you guys watching this webinars on replay, so that's will help you also to post the questions and we're gonna follow up with you later. Today we're gonna have a really amazing information for all of you, especially before we start in a Q4, which is the biggest season for any Amazon seller or any marketplace seller, or even if you sell on Shopify. This information will be fantastic for you. So while you guys keep adding to the live streaming, I see that more and more people keep adding. I just want to give you a quick promotion while we're waiting for everybody to stay active. So guys, I just want to tell you that we have developed one of the best tools on the market to get money back from Amazon. So it's called reimbursements by sellerize.com. So you would be able to see how much money Amazon owes you on a daily basis. Sometimes it could be thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, because Amazon can lose your money in so many ways. They can just lose your inventory. They can send incorrect buyer adjustments. There are 18 different ways Amazon can do this. So let me just quickly show you the biggest advantage of Sellerize is we don't charge you any commissions, or there's no any hidden fees, and there's also because we are partnered with Seller, and you can do everything through Sellerize, even to Amazon without even needs to be open cases there. You can manage everything through Sellerize. So it's gonna help you guys to see that you can get from Amazon. So we calculate all the money, we submit cases for you. You just need to click couple buttons, and that's why we call this reimbursements in 60 seconds or less. So with this offer, guys, you would be able to go to Sellerize, sign up for absolutely free trial. You can check how much money Amazon owes you without paying anything to us. So, and then our plan starts at $19.99, which is absolutely fantastic. And you can get way more money than just paying for our subscription. So try out the tool, use the coupon code DIMA10, which will give you a 10% discount for entire year of usage. Any active Amazon seller can see a huge lift in money if they're gonna see this tool inside and connect their seller account and see how much money Amazon they owe. All right, guys. After I finish this awesome promotion, I hope you guys gonna get this money back from Amazon. I want to introduce you one of my good friends, Eric. He's absolutely fantastic guy. He sells on Amazon primarily wholesale, and he's one of Amazon in the wholesale industry, which is smart and genius. And he's gonna spread today's knowledge about how to get bump and how to more money in Q4 for Amazon and for your entire business. Eric, welcome on a webinar.
Dima, thank you. Super grateful to be here, man. It's a pleasure to catch up, and I'm excited to kind of get into, ways sellers can increase their sales, especially in the busy Q4 that we're all right in the middle of right now today. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, and the biggest question always, and the biggest battle that we call this today, it's a battle between private label and wholesale guys. It's like, when you go into the mountains, you try and choose what you want to do, ski or snowboard, and it's always asking you like, are you a snowboard or ski guy? And like, yeah. I don't know, and especially if like a nice blondie girl asking you. So I always say like, I'm a ski, she's like, I also ski,
Yeah. Yeah,
I
agree.
So With all being said, Eric, tell me, like, how did you start this wholesale journey? What makes
Yeah.
you stay so professional there?
Yeah. So first of all, my name is, Eric Castellano, and I operate, like Dima said, one of the largest third-party wholesale companies in the world. We ship about 300,000 orders a month, but to take it back, when we first started, the business was very small. Like a lot of people, I'm sure, watching this or people thinking about getting started, we were operating the business out of our home. We started going to retail stores like Costco and BJ's and buying products to relist on Amazon for a profit, which was pretty exciting because I didn't have to run ads to those products. I didn't have to get them shipped from overseas. So for me, early on, it was a very easy, there was a limited barrier of entry there because I could do it and get started within a couple of days, opposed to having to wait multiple months to get my inventory.
It sounds exciting. I mean, like, it sounds like any wholesale program or arbitrage programs that people can utilize at the beginning. But when did you get started? What was the year?
2013.
Oh my gosh, you're like a you're like an
I
elephant there. So many years. You've probably seen so many changes on Amazon going through this years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. All right, so like, what's the like main comparison right now, like for people, like what's the main challenges? I'm sure the challenges that you was facing at the beginning, like is it a still ability for people to go to Costco or BJ's and still buy the products and resell them, or it's already like uh abused system?
No, absolutely. There's a lot of money still purchasing from some of these big retail stores, but it's not just walking in and buying the products. The way the money is made is by building a relationship with management at these retail stores so you can get stuff out of the back room before it even hits the shelves. That's where the money's made with retail relationships in today's day and age. It's not the same as it was 8, 9 years ago.
But obviously not a Costco or BJ's. It's too big corporations to have a. Or it's still, even you can get a relationship with the managers over there.
Yeah,
What?
still those stores as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I remember my first time when I tried the wholesale model, when I buy out like pallets and pallets and pallets of LED bulbs in Home Depot. And that's actually true what you just said. I just realized, yeah, we was dealing with the manager directly. He was helping us to get a better deal and a heavy discount. Like later on, he told us that he gave us discount that the bigger than even Amazon, that even a store allowed him to do. So
Yes.
it was fantastic. All right,
Mhm.
so but like you kind of very connected in the Amazon industry. So what makes you stick to the wholesale model compared to private label, and what are your thoughts about this?
Yeah. So first of all, I love both business models. They both have their pros and their cons, as well as their opportunities and their pitfalls. So I started in the retail arbitrage space and transitioned to wholesale. And then when my Amazon wholesale business started generating profits, enough to take $7,000, $10,000 out, I was then able to take that cash out and invest it into private label products. So out of our 65, $70 million in annual sales, about 10% of that is private label that we've been building out for about 5 or 6 years. And the other 90% is strictly wholesale. So they both are good and they both have their pros and their cons. It's just a matter of where you are and the cash flow you have on how to get started.
So let's say right now it's Q4 coming, which is one of the best times for anybody to jump, let's say, on a wholesale model, correct?
Yeah.
As it will be much easier to kind of in and out from the
Yeah.
business in case you want to out.
Yeah.
And especially like seasonality in Q4 is crazy, from holiday gifts to some regular items, bundles. What's the main strategy in wholesale comparing to the private label that you see the differences?
Yeah, so one of the main differences is where you're sourcing the products from. Like you said, Dima, you explained it perfectly, right? If someone wanted to make quick money immediately in Q4, you wouldn't be able to do that with private label because you got to get the product manufactured, you got to get a test order, you got to get it shipped from overseas. It probably wouldn't even arrive in the US, till maybe March or
Next
April.
Q4.
Yeah, till next Q4, right? So the cool thing about Amazon wholesale is you can literally start opening wholesale accounts today, and you can have inventory in Amazon in the next 2 to 3 weeks and start making sales immediately, which is very exciting because a lot of people want that quick turnaround on their cash flow.
So, generally speaking, someone getting started in wholesale, they wanna, they have no experience with building relationship. Yeah, of course they can go store by store, but even if they probably gonna be trained, they still gonna have like some uncertainty of like what to buy and what's the steps to take. So, what's the categories, or how basically you do you have like some certain rules when you're trying
Yeah.
to start wholesale business?
Yeah. So as far as categories go, I suggest selling in all the categories except for 2 of them. There's 2 I specifically stay away from because they have very high return rates. The first one is high-end electronics. You're
Mhm.
looking at between 15 and 18% returns. And then as well as apparel and shoes, you're looking at another 15 to 18% in returns because people buy it, they try it on. Oh, this doesn't fit. They send it back. And now you got a used pair of shoes that you can't relist as new, and they've decreased in value by 60 to 70%. So I suggest selling in all the categories. And then there's definitely some tools that we use to leverage the same way with private label. You got Helium 10 and Jungle Scout. The tools we use for wholesale are Keepa, as well as some sort of profit calculator like AZ Insight. So we're analyzing the ranks of these products, the BSR, and we're making sure that, hey, this product is selling and it's profitable and the competition isn't crazy. I'm going to purchase this and get some sales off of the total sales on the listing for monthly.
Eric, how about restrictions? Like in private label, the biggest restrictions companies facing it's when they produce some products that have additional certifications, or
Yeah.
your account meet some certain requirements. Let's say if you want to sell in grocery, you need approval, and let's say if you sell in beauty, you need allergic tests. Like if you sell in beauty or in baby, you need to have like I'm not gonna go through all the certification process,
Yes.
but sometimes you can hit your blue, and then your SKU can be out for 2 weeks or maybe a few months. You don't have enough SKU or requirement because maybe some lag of the line of because if you get hit by Amazon, there's probably another like couple hundred hit, and everybody try to get same certificate right now.
Yes.
So what about wholesale, like brand restrictions, or
Yes.
what potential things that you have to solve?
Yeah, so immediately, most newer sellers, if they have a brand new Amazon seller account, they'll be restricted in a few categories, in a few brand categories. So, you might need to be ungated in grocery, or you will need to be ungated in grocery, ungated in beauty supply. But there's some very low MOQ companies like East Bay or EE Distribution that will allow you to place a couple $100 order with them, and then you could use their invoice as a legitimacy offer, saying like, this product is legitimate. I bought it from an authentic, reputable supplier. Here's the invoice. Please approve me. And then they review the invoice and they approve you to sell in those categories.
So let's say someone into the Costco or BJ's or Victoria's Secret during the Black Friday, and they found some items that they can bundle and sell on Amazon. But does these stores allow you to resell, and how the brand owners, let's say like Costco, let's say sell, I don't know, like Kirkland. Kirkland is
Yeah.
their own brand. Are they going to go after you? Do you any where you get restrictions and what type of, so you don't have with without being able to return them, correct?
Yeah, so on everybody's cell phone, you got the Amazon Sellers app. You can literally scan the UPC, and then you'd find the ASIN that product's connected to, and you attempt to add it to your inventory. When you're adding it to your inventory, Amazon will let you know if there's any restrictions stating whether you can or can't sell it. And if you can't sell it, it will tell you what's needed in order to sell it. And usually it's an invoice with 10 units or more proving authenticity of supply chain from a reputable distributor. So for example, if you were to walk in Costco and buy a product that you weren't approved for, the receipt for that purchase would not work for ungating. You would have to buy that product from a reputable distributor and get a legitimate invoice that has your company information and their company information to be approved to sell in that brand or that category.
Oh, so you're saying products that purchase from regular stores may not be qualified as a distribution ability, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, all right, all right. So maybe that's one of the biggest struggles the new guys facing, because they found the product, they try to sell, but they don't have an actual invoice. While invoice is actual, but it's not given them ability to sell, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I always suggest in the beginning, you might have to spend a couple $100 just to get ungated in some of these categories. But what it's going to do, it's going to open up so much opportunity. So most people think like, why would I spend $200 on a product I'm not even going to be able to sell, or a product that I'm losing money on once I list it? And they're thinking too small picture. It's about the big picture. It's like, what about the tens of thousands of products that you now will have access to that you can sell once you're approved to list in that category?
Yeah, I agree with you. That's like sometimes I say to the guys who trying to start any Amazon, any online model, like I'm telling them, guys, treat this as a business. I remember the guy was still running a part-time job. Like, no, he was actually a full-time job, and he was part-time doing Amazon. And he asked me, Dima, I want to make millions on Amazon. So like, but for that you have to quit the actual job because it requires you time and focus. And it's just people who pretend it's a passive income, which is it's not. It's a big hustle unless you have a partner or certain agreement with a service company or someone else who will take care of these operations for you, which is in 2013 it doesn't exist. Do you remember when it was getting started? There was like barely few tools available on the market for research. Primarily, it was just guessing what may go good or bad. So it was a lot of testing waters. So and nowadays there's like plenty of companies who work with a revenue share, who helping you, who have like step-by-step processes, guides, and explanations. So they kind of preventing you from doing mistakes. But if you're not willing to put money into it, it's impossible to start any sustainable business.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Like any example, try to open a coffee shop.
Yeah,
like
and you don't want to dump any cash into it. You're not going to have a coffee shop.
Yeah. You cannot get money from people and then go buy the coffee and bring it to them. You have to buy a coffee in advance, and then coffee machines and everything. So we run some retail stores here in Fort Lauderdale, and that's when I see how retail business works, it works absolutely differently. Like you need to really work your ass off, to make sure things sticking, and you have to even wait for like 6 months to get profitable, and then if stars is aligned, then you're good, so
yeah.
All right. So speaking about private label, you said you also do about 10-15% of your private label revenue and the focuses. How do you when did you start the private label?
I want to say maybe 5 or 6 years ago we started doing private label.
What was your like a focus on private label? Did you was trying just to, like let's say you sell coffee cups wholesale, and then you see them sell it, and then you try to do something like generic, or you was trying to be more I don't know, like let's make the next Fitbit, like and make some crazy.
No, that's exactly how it started, because we had so much data, because in the past couple of years we've sold tens and tens of thousands of different items, so we have the metrics of what moves and what really gets the customer excited. So we use that data to create some of our first couple private label products, because we saw the search volume and the sales revenue based on the brand name products we were selling were moving very well. So we're like, all we have to do is kind of redesign this a little, and put it on the marketplace. And we know based on the keywords that these other listings have, we'll be able to drive traffic to those ASINs and increase, or decrease their BSR to get extra sales and build a business around it.
Erica, how about a control? The control what I'm talking about, let's say when we sell in private label business, we do a lot of advertisement, including Amazon internal advertisement like video ads and sponsored ads, everything that we have. Amazon have lots of opportunities for private label people to advertise.
Yes.
Also, since we build a brand, we also do a lot of social media and Google ads, and we'll drive articles, press releases. How about wholesale? Like, is it like really like so automated that you just find someone else brand list on Amazon, then just kind of looking at the revenue going up?
Yeah.
What's the strategy in terms of like bring traffic?
Yeah. So absolutely. Most of the products. So for example, here I got a copper tone product, a sunscreen. Like people know what this is. They've been using it.
That's why you look so good.
Yeah, so they've been using it for years. They bring it to the beach. They don't need to see an ad to buy this. They're already searching for it. Same with like Crest toothpaste, Listerine mouthwash, Old Spice deodorant. People have been using these for decades. I know when I buy toothpaste, I don't need to see an ad to buy toothpaste. I go to Amazon, I type in Crest, white toothpaste, and I buy it in the 3-pack or the 6-pack, so I don't have to buy it every other month. So we do run ads for some of our slower moving ASINs because, as you know, Dima, anything can happen to a listing. Last week, it could be moving 1,000 units a month, and next week, it could be moving 200 units a month because Amazon changed something in their algorithm or another product came in at a better price. So for those products, we do run ads. I spend about $15,000 to $20,000 a month on ads. And our average our ACoS is right around 2.5–3%, and it generates anywhere from $250,000 to $300,000 in sales revenue.
Are you primarily focused on branded ads, or you run all type of ads? Like what's the top performance for you?
Yeah, so definitely just the regular PPC campaigns where we're running traffic, to keywords. We're just running keyword traffic. We have some brand partnerships where we work closely with some of those brands, and then we're doing some brand advertisements. We're also running some coupons, some volume discounts, as well as a little more aggressive on advertising with those companies.
Oh, I love this, Eric. Like we actually I didn't mention this before, but we have developed a special tool with it's called Keyword Hunter, where you and also we call this another one. It's called Re-Ranker, where you would be able to see every single keyword that drive traffic to the specific ASIN or to the group of ASINs. So let's say if you sell Crest toothpaste, you can run specifically the test, and you can see exactly what keywords and how much sales they do on a daily basis, so you know exactly where to navigate your PPC when you set it up. So you see let's say this keyword, we don't estimate our sales and our strategies on search volume, because we want to see exactly how many sales each keyword bringing. Let's say it sells 3 sales per day or 10 sales per day. That's the most important part for you. I can get you the free trial access, so you can test and play around. I know you have like a lot of ASINs. Usually guys with a wholesale, when they join our sell rise, they kill our servers with the amount of SKUs they have.
Yeah. I right now I probably have 4,500 different products in stock.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Imagine having this in the private level. You don't need like that much, because it would be impossible to control all that. All right, so where's your what's your opinion, and how do you run the warehousing? Do you operate from your own warehouse, or you doing like some across country strategies when you buy, let's say, from California? Like
Yeah, so I do a little bit of both. 85 to 90% of my business is operated right here in my facility. I'm on the 2nd floor. Below me, I have about 40 employees who are packaging items, picking items, shipping items, working right now. And then I got another 5 buyers outside to my left and 5 web developers to my right. So for quality control as well as to leverage growth opportunities and get cheaper rates for prepping items. We get 85% of our inventory shipped here. But you're absolutely right, Dima. For those cross-country suppliers that we do business with out in Cali, it doesn't make sense for us to spend $2,000 to ship it to New Jersey just to ship it out to a fulfillment center. So we use prep centers in those further out states.
So, speaking today about just Amazon, do you sell like Walmart, eBay, any other platform you focus on, or you just trying to stay like 100% focused on Amazon?
Yeah, so we sold on eBay and Walmart for about 3 or 4 years, and then right in the middle of the pandemic, we made a switch 100% Amazon. But actually, I just went into my Walmart account on Monday because one of the brands we partnered with, which drives a decent amount of our revenue, about 5 or 6%, they want to go back on Walmart. So we're going to be taking their brand onto Walmart exclusively, not selling any of our other products, just their products on Walmart.com.
Eric, when you're trying to help brands, like you obviously put in a lot of effort, or what type of effort you put when you try to work with brands exclusively, and is there any contract involved that help you to secure the deal?
Yes, absolutely. There's a contract involved. I usually look to put the duration of the contract at a minimum of 18 months because it takes a couple months to get the momentum moving. And also, before I even reach out to them or while I'm in the process of securing the contract, I'll take money out of my pocket and I'll run ads for their products for free. I'll put coupons on their products at my expense. I'll update their images to have great infographics, right? I might get a video filmed and add it to their brand registry. Like, I take all these efforts to let them know, like, hey, I'm different than your regular average third-party seller. I'm willing to go above and beyond for this partnership. So partnering with me is just a no-brainer.
I love it, absolutely. So, but look, is there speaking about you, you already existed since 2013. You have experience, you have a development team, you have like a huge facility. So some people they're more open for you to get the contract and to secure the contract,
Yeah.
because it's kind of both way win-win. But let's say people who just getting started or maybe started a year ago, they don't have so much resources. They still use services, and they still struggle with some good wholesale accounts where they can buy inventory. So for them to secure exclusive contract would be near to impossible. Maybe possible someday, but they don't even know where to probably get started. So what would be your suggestions to those people? Like
Yeah.
how
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I completely understand most new sellers think because they're new and because they're maybe a 1 or 2 person team, that they're at a disadvantage. But when you look at it from the flip side, you're actually at an advantage, right? Because you have the ability to reach out to these companies and let them know, hey, I'm a growing company. You're going to get direct access to me. So if there's an issue with your products, you call me, I fix it immediately, right? At a company my size, you might have to reach out to someone who's then going to connect them to the right team. So there's a barrier of entry there. And also, I suggest new sellers just Google your local convention center, especially if you're in your big metropolitan area like New York, Chicago, Miami, Los Angeles, Dallas. Any big city will have a convention center. And throughout the year, they'll have dozens of trade shows where you can go meet these companies in person and build a relationship face to face, which gives you more skin in the game and they can trust you a little more.
Yeah, I like it. There's also a mobile app. It's called 10 times. If you guys know, 1 0, and then you write the times, and then if you go to this 10 times and just see its whole conversion conversions, uh, it's all the events and trade shows is there. Like I remember, I was looking for a tea companies, and it was like so many trade shows. I even found a trade show in Brazil where I fly after to this show through this app. So it's like across the world, and also they're very detailed about USA domestic shows. So for you, it would be awesome to see like one of my favorite. It's PLMA show in Chicago, which I always go, and West Coast. This oh my gosh, I forgot. The West and East side, they have this show like food.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know this show, yeah? Like the
Yeah.
one of the biggest for the food and for the ingredients. Yeah, that's
Yes.
all right. So, what's your if you were gonna break down by categories? Let's say you stay away from high electronics you stay away from shoes or maybe a little bit your no-brainer category to go.
Yeah. Grocery, personal care, health and beauty, home and kitchen. Those are the top four that have the easiest they have the largest catalog, so there's a lot of opportunity in those.
So you were saying you primarily focus on two softwares, which is Keepa and AZ Insights. Is that what you
Yes.
said? AZ
Yes.
Insights. AZ Insights gives you information about cells like helium 10, or it's something different.
So AZ Insight, it lets you know what restrictions. So if it's a hazmat product, if it's meltable, it lets you know if you're approved to sell it, and it's an extension that lives on the Amazon listing. So you don't have to go to Seller Central, create a test SKU. It tells you all the data right there, as well as it gives you UPC information, the weight, whether they're calculating it using actual weight versus dimensional weight. And it also lets you know the profits. You plug in your cost of goods and it takes out, the referral fee, the FBA fee, the storage fee, and it lets you know how much money you're making on every single sale.
I mean, like, that sounds great. Okay, so now let's just jump on a couple questions that we have here in our chat, so we can see people commenting from Facebook and YouTube. Guys, I can tell you, we was looking for a solution for web for our live webinars all the time, and there was trying Zoom and was trying live stream and so we found the one. It's called Restream.io. If you ever go into webinar, I don't know, business, whatever you call it, the Restream.io is one of the best options because it's so customizable. You can stream many channels. There's no restrictions, and even our participants, let's say Eric sitting right now here, he can also stream to his own channels, which is also amazing. It used to be difficulties when you're trying to send links to people, they trying to register and it didn't go through, and some technical difficulties. This Restream.io, it's not promotional. It's just I just want to share with you this amazing app that we found. Okay, so. We have a couple questions. Okay,
I like Aaron's got a great question. Ziggy's got a good question. Sadat has a great question. So wherever you want to start, Dima.
All right. So let me put like one of the questions on the top. So let me just let me put this Ziggy question on the top. Okay, so this one we can see the question. So like, what is the great place to source the product?
Yeah. So finding suppliers is the hardest part of the game. So one of the best places to do that is Google. So searching Google and starting off in your immediate area, right? Because you don't want to start, if you live in New Jersey like me, you don't want to start researching companies in Oregon or California or Nevada, because cost of shipping is going to be crazy. So using Google or trade show websites and shopping their vendor directory, because they already have a list of 1,000 vendors right there. So you already have a list of the vendors. Now it's just a matter of reaching out to them and connecting with them and getting the wholesale catalog, which is the name of the game.
I have also a question for you. So let's say we always give an example of toothpaste. We want to sell a toothpaste, let's say Crest, and we see Amazon has a 1-pack, 3-pack, and 6-pack. So what if you decide to create your own 4 or 8-pack? How much restrictions on that?
Yeah, so I'm sure you're aware in the past 3 or 4 weeks, at least for the wholesale side of the business, Amazon removed tens of thousands of listings due to GTIN misconnections, right? So they scraped GTIN, which they are on the board of, and they realized that the connection for the UPC on the listing didn't match the brand, and it's not registered with what is the GTIN?
GS1 barcodes, yeah?
Yeah, GS1. Yeah. It's not registered with GS1. So right now, I would suggest nobody creates any new listings or does anything until we figure out how Amazon's going to navigate. But in the future, and what we've done in the past, is we will take that 4-pack, and let's say it's a 4-pack of Crest that doesn't exist. I will put it under my own trademark, and I'll add a branded toothbrush to it that I get, manufactured overseas for 50 cents a unit. And I'll add that as a value add, and I'll trademark it under Eric's Teeth Care. So then I have exclusivity and more control of that listing.
That's awesome. Does companies like Crest, like of course the question out of the blue, but in general rules. Let's say you purchase from the distributor the Crest. Do you have this ability to create bundles? Would you do a sort of letter from like you bundle our product to show us in the
Yeah.
roof? That's
Yeah. So when you're talking about a lot of these products from these big manufacturers like Unilever, Procter and Gamble, Bergsoff out in Germany, these companies have been around since the late 1800s. So at the end of the day, they don't really care who sells their products. They just want to sell their products. So I've run into little issues when it's those big manufacturers, but once in a while, about 20% of the listings we create will get removed because either the brand complains to Amazon or Amazon gives us a copyright complaint or a trademark infringement. But the other 80% make up for that 20% loss. So it's still a profitable avenue for us.
all right. So let's go from the bottom. I see Carlos ask questions. Let me just put it right here. What is the good price per unit for prep centers?
Yeah, anything between 75 cents and $1.50 is pretty reasonable. It also depends on the type of prep you need. If you need poly bags, it's going to be a little more expensive. 75 cents on the low end for single label items, but when you start poly bagging and bubble wrapping items or taping corrugated boxes, the price can get a little higher. So between 75 and $1.50 is pretty average.
Yeah, guys, if you need a quote, we also run a prep center that we support about $250, which is SAP, where I'm going to put here and context. We do about $1 to $1.20 bubble wrapping for you. So it depends on the size of the item. Sometimes if you ship us something small like a supplements, it's much easier to operate. But if you ship to us Japanese automated toilet to resell, then it's completely different receiving and packing and. And it happened, like so, and they like, hey, it's $1.25, and we're like, you know what? I think we need to rework our price list for the toilets. So. Okay, so let me just remove this question. Okay, guys, we're gonna take about 3-4 more questions. I promise you. Let's say Reva. Let me put this question right here. Heights for the live. Also hard to find legit suppliers and liquidators. Eric, do you have on top of your mind maybe couple suggestions where Reva should scrape or what websites is the best right now?
So if she's looking to immediately start, she could look at Frontier Co-op, which is a website, Frontier, I think coop.com. She could check them out, as well as EE Distribution for toys, as well as East Bay for some food products and beauty products. So between those 3 companies, that'll be enough to kind of start generating some revenue. But I love that she brought up liquidators, because the thing with liquidators is they do have very inexpensive products. But the issue comes if there's any complaint from Amazon and they're asking for an invoice to prove authenticity. They do not accept invoices that have the word closeout or liquidation in the title, because it's like anybody can create a company and start selling, secondhand products like that. So it can create some issues if you're just sourcing from liquidators and wholesalers.
Yeah, I remember one of the also good sources was Webstaurant. I don't know if you source from Webstaurant.
I've never heard of them. Yeah, but
yeah,
if you said you used it, then absolutely.
Yeah, it's that's also, guys. You know what? This is what we're gonna do. After the live is gonna be finished, we're gonna take a notes of all the sources and resources we give you in terms of tools and softwares, and maybe some resources we just mentioned right here on a webinar. We're gonna post them under the comment section, or maybe right in the head of the promotion of this webinar. So look for this notes, guys, for you. If you miss something, make sure you check the notes as well, or maybe you trying to type some words, but you're doing this continuous misspelling. Okay. All right, so okay, guys, we're gonna take a couple more questions from you, and after that, we're probably gonna say you bye, because the majority of the questions we may answer for you after the webinar will finish. I know, guys, a lot of you commenting from YouTube and Facebook. Don't worry, guys, we're gonna follow up with you if the questions was not answered on a webinar. Then we're gonna answer this question through you either personally, or maybe we can do like a public comment for you. So because sometimes your questions are too specific and require additional research, which sometimes is difficult to answer. And like, for example, sometimes people complain that like Amazon blocked my account. Believe me or not, there could be
Yeah.
like a gazillion amount of reasons it
Yeah.
happened. And sometimes you even ask you a direct question, and then eventually we realize you upload to them photoshopped invoice, and that's it, bada boom. It's end of the game. So
Yeah.
it's you have to play, guys, smart. Okay, so you don't rush, like if you have some problems, reach out always to the guys like Eric community. He has a huge community, like follow up him on Instagram, a huge account, like he share a lot of tips and tricks for you guys. And I'm sure he would be able to answer sometimes one or two of your questions, without any problems. So but look,
100%.
sometimes, guys, the reason why questions getting because sometimes questions has already been answered thousands of times. You just don't take time to properly research in a group, let's say, or in a channel. So sometimes just by typing these questions, you would be able to get all the answers. But anyway, our goal today, guys, is just to give you some hints and insights about wholesale and private label products. We already spent with you about like 40 minutes together. So let me just get another question. Okay, so Saad Ali, let me put this question for you. Kindly comment about buying from liquidation companies and brokers for wholesale FBA versus buying from authorized distribution. I think, Eric, you already mentioned that, correct? Or is there
Yeah. Yeah.
something
We
else
just
you're gonna?
talked about that.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just talked
So,
about this. Yeah, all
yeah.
right. So, um, all right. Oh yeah, let's have this question. Like, how much is startup investment? What is the minimum in wholesale or private label?
Yeah, that's a phenomenal question. So minimum for wholesale, I'd recommend $2,000 to $5,000. That will allow you to place, 2 to 3 different wholesale orders with 2 to 3 different companies, and allow you to kind of spread your reach out under more SKUs. And then I'd love to hear from you, Dima. What are you suggesting? I usually suggest 7 to 10 for private label. I'd love to hear what you're suggesting to people to start private label.
Yeah. In my opinion, guys, when we launching right now products on Amazon, the minimum we target is 20,000 per SKU. So, but it also depends on your experience and the type of the
Yeah,
product you're going in. It's
yeah,
like there's so many variations. Let's say if you're trying to launch, gosh, piano stickers, or any type of stickers, you need to understand that the purchase cost of these items is like 10 cents. So you can buy thousands of units for
yeah,
few $100, and then the only what you need to do is just create amazing images. You need to start to focus on social media. Let's speak about, let's say, piano stickers. It's like you have to create a videos how to use them, how to apply them. Maybe you make different colors or variations, and then you just try to understand the industry from the insides. I used to sell piano stickers many years ago. That's why I just come up with my in my head. But let's say if you try to sell, I don't know, like wireless microphones, just go type this on Amazon. You will see the purchase price of these products is a minimum, I don't know, like $8 to $10
yeah,
for a good quality. And if you go cheaper, then you're gonna be killed by negative reviews.
yeah,
So even buying 1,000 units is gonna cost you $8 to $10,000 just for the cost of goods, then
yes,
delivery, then content production. So in my opinion, creating a good images should cost you not minimum than $500, because if
yeah,
you try to spend less, you're either gonna have like a cheap quality from Fiverr, or you wouldn't be able to convert.
yeah,
So you have to split test your images before you launch. And so we use tools like Pigfoo or Metrics, which
yes,
helps us to stay ahead of the competition. You run
yeah,
split tests before we launch the products, and
yeah,
then And then when you launch the product, when you do wholesale, you probably jump on already established listing that has a traffic, visibility,
Yeah.
indexing, everything is there already for you. So but when you do private label, you also need to optimize for conversion, you need to optimize for indexing, for proper SEO. So that will help you to stay ahead of competition and get closer to the top
Yeah.
eventually. And then you need to run PPC and different marketing campaigns,
Yeah.
which gonna cost you around $3,000 to $5,000 to get started at minimum.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
And
kind of
that's one of the reasons why, Dima, I always suggest people who reach out to me and they're questioning, private label or wholesale. I let them know, like, listen, start with wholesale. You could start generating some profits in your company immediately, right? Build up some cash flow. And then if you want to take 10, 12, 13, $15,000 out of that business, it's not the last cash you got, because you have a business built already. Because I see it happen all the time, and I did it as well. I took, my only $7,000 for my first private label product that I created. And by the time it got here, competition increased and I lost the whole thing. I had to liquidate it at 10 cents on the dollar, So it's almost like with wholesale, there's a stop loss. Like when you're trading stocks, the most you'll lose is maybe 15 to 20%. So it's like less of a risk than it is with private label. But private label has more of a payoff because if you could sell your company, that's what most people are trying to build it to do.
yeah, like different models has a different pros and cons, and I agree with you. I personally started with the drop shipping many years ago in 2011, 12, which was fantastic for us because without any money you can build up the catalog in no time. So
Yeah.
and also guys, what Eric says, he actually right. The reason why we get so successful with private label because we got 2 almost 3 years of selling products in drop shipping. We knew the industry, we knew the seasons, we knew what people expect and how much people willing to pay for improved quality, or maybe sometimes you just need to focus on the shitty quality and no, I mean, like, okay, accept, we call this acceptable quality. Sometimes
Yes.
acceptable quality with a low end product will help you to sell thousands of units and work on a mass production than just trying to sell 10 per day and make bigger margins. There's
Yes.
different models people focus on, and there's no specific answer to say like, hey, model of selling low end product is bad. I can tell you, I have several of my friends who sell products under 899, $60,000 profit per SKU, which means
Yeah.
I know it's thousands of units per day, but overall it's also great product opportunity. But some people, they sell high-end products that sell at around $250-$300 and they make great revenues. I don't know about their margins, but
Yeah.
revenues looks amazing, beautiful for Instagram post. So
Like a good mutual friend of ours, Jamie, Jamie Davidson,
yeah.
he's like a lot of small and light and, he crushes it, but he's selling some lower end, products and he's doing some good numbers and some good profits. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember they was doing close to 200 million at the top when they was crushing it like crazy, So
Yeah.
I don't know if Jamie still sells cell phone accessories, but they used to be like crazy big, Like so,
Yeah.
if they sold the company or anyway, Jamie is fantastic, very smart, Like so, he
Yeah.
also has his own group that he teaches how to build private label products. So I know they doing a great job.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So lastly, guys, like as we was talking for almost an hour already with you, I can tell you that there's no bad or perfect answers or business models. What
Mm.
Eric said is actually a good fit. If you never try online sales and you're not familiar with the Amazon, maybe get started with some course education that you can learn and go through. Majority of the things that you will need to solve at the beginning is just
Yeah.
you don't need to even think about marketing at this moment. Like you need to figure out what's the Amazon limits, restrictions, how to build your first shipment to Amazon, how to build the
Yeah.
second one because you forgot how to do first.
Yeah.
You know how, it used to be a problem every time you do a shipment, because you was doing this a couple months ago. You're doing another one, it's like a brand new skill, because Amazon changed their
Yeah. User interface. Yeah.
user interface. And I remember the same was with the Facebook. You're trying to learn Facebook ads. You do it first, you come back in 6 months. It's completely different interface, like
Yeah.
completely different
Yeah.
course you need to pass. So, all right, Eric, would you like to share some bonus, or maybe some you said you're gonna provide some guys with some bonus at the end.
Yeah, yeah. So we Dima, you just touched on it. The concept of investing in information and knowledge to fast track your success. So over here at Amazon Lit, we've created a community with over 700 people in it, and what we do is we give you this step by step linear guidance. So it's like, you do this, you get this result, and then you do this, you get this result. It comes with live weekly coaching calls as well as community access. So we basically hold your hand through the process. And I'm not going to talk about all the bells and whistles, because what everybody wants to know is, will it get me the result that I'm looking for? And the result is making money. And absolutely, it will get you the result. I think the link was just posted. It's right there, esellersri.com/AmazonLitFBA. And we'd love to have you in the community. And anybody who signs up during this live will get 6 months of live weekly coaching calls instead of the normal 3 months that most people get when they join.
Wow, Eric, thank you so much. I'm sure a lot of people will be interested in that, because starting online business, it's absolutely fantastic opportunity, guys. You will gain so much freedom in the next year or two if you're gonna start online business, and especially for you guys, if you decide to become professional and make this as a full-time journey for yourself. Because I know a lot of people, they still, when they try to do online business, they work 1 or 2 hours. But some people, they don't work hours, they just worry every day if what's gonna happen. So guys, if you want to get successful, you need to build system, you need to rely on professional people who already passed this course, already passed this issues, because they can teach you, they can share their knowledge with you. And building your system will help you to make a sustainable business, and eventually you will have a business that can be work without your attention. But it will take time, it will take time, team, knowledge, and couple more bucks to invest. So, all right, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you so much for playing. I know we're behind for about 2 months. You're always busy with some events and vacation, and then you're busy with your team. So thank you so much for eventually joining us today on this call. I hope we will be connected again. All the questions, guys, you will have, please make sure you post them. Also, please follow up with me on my social media channels, on my Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. If you have some direct questions about usage of our software, you can reach out to me at admin@sellrise.com. Don't forget to use our offer to check how much money Amazon owes you, especially if you sell and you're active seller on Amazon. With the offer DIMA10, you will be able to get 10% discount for a year, and also you're gonna have a free trial, which will cost you nothing, to check how much money Amazon owes you. Even though, guys, you use any service providers who calculate you how much money Amazon owes you and try to charge you percentage, which is absolutely okay. For you, it would be nice quality check, I would say, to see if they're really doing actually a good job with getting all the money. Because as I mentioned previously in my other webinars, we have one of our users who used to have Sellerize account, and I asked him how is successful for him reimbursement system. He said, like, unfortunately, Dima, we use some other service providers. But I said, okay, let's just log into your Sellerize and check how much money Amazon owes you. And we saw $577,000 in non-reimbursed money. Yeah, he has a huge account, one of the biggest I saw. But this amount of money was absolutely insane. And the biggest struggle was this: he has a service provider. We get on a call with him. This is guys, I'm showing right now to you on the screen, actual screenshot from his account. The service provider told him that he been reimbursed $108,000 in June, and Amazon never deposited this money to his account, but service provider charged the percentage. So they reach out back to Amazon, and Amazon give them back this money. Imagine it's 100K just came back to his account because he saw this in a Sellerized dashboard. And also, guys, in the Sellerized dashboard, you are gonna see this on the left. You see the red sign, $5,000. You can see this is the amount of money, and this is money you're gonna see in your account as well. It's how much money Amazon will never reimburse you because you pass the specific time frame. In Amazon TOS, you have like some specific time frame when you can request money that been lost. If this money been lost, they lost forever. So that's why you need to act fast to get all the money back, especially before the Q4 gets started, to get more money for the inventory, or maybe for some vacation after a heavy Q4 season.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Also, don't forget to get Eric a special deal on his program, which will be able to access at the link below that we're gonna add at Amazon Lead. So you would be able to join his program and learn how to get majority of your cash flow and revenue and profits from wholesale business, with all tricks and tips from his professional team, how to organize the process to the way that it's run absolutely automatic. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being with us. Eric, thank you so much to be here. And
Thanks,
guys,
man.
I will see you
Appreciate
on the
you,
next
everybody.
webinars next Thursday.
Absolutely.